Hello, Revere, and welcome to the Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today I have a real special veteran, and it's going to take me a few minutes to read this, but before I do, I want to welcome Mr. Bill Chisolm, past commander,
Thank you, Mark.
past commander of the American Legion of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That's number one, Bill. Number two, you're a current commander of Post 61 in Revere of the American Legion. That's number two. You're also a triple veteran since you are a community veteran. That's number three. You're a past commander of the Italian War Veterans of the United States. That's number four. And most of all, you are a Vietnam veteran. So let me salute you and thank you for coming on. That makes you a five-star veteran.
Thank you, Mark.
Five-star guest. Now, Bill, before we start the show, tell us a little about yourself. Before we do that, me being a layman, give me a little history of the American Legion.
Okay, the American Legion was formed in 1919 after the First World War, and it was decided that the first caucus they had was in France, where they held their first meeting, and they wanted to form an organization to take care of the veterans that were getting out of the service. So they decided they would hold a second meeting in St. Louis. The first one was held in November. The second one was held in December in St. Louis, and shortly thereafter they sent a charter into the United States, and we were chartered by the Congress of the United States in 1920. The reason they wanted to get together is because they wanted to have some sort of organization that would support them. There were a lot of people getting out of the service, and there was no benefits for them or anything else. So that's how they organized. You might be interested to know that the original GI Bill was written by a past national commander of the American Legion. He wrote it. He was responsible for having it brought into to Congress to get it passed. It was in danger of not passing, and they were shy one vote in the Senate. The American Legion sent a plane to Georgia to pick up the senator who was campaigning in Georgia, brought him back in time so he could vote. And without that vote, we never would have had a GI Bill. So the American Legion is pretty well recognized as the ones who are responsible for the GI Bill, which in fact, after the Second World War, created this country. It gave everybody in the middle, created the middle class, gave everybody a chance to get a job, get an education, buy a house, go to school. So that's where the original GI Bill came from. It came from the American Legion. Right. So to the American Legion all over the country in all 50 states. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. That's our biggest claim to fame. Although a lot of people don't know that. So it's nice to get that bit of history out there. Now you're also a commander of Post 61 in Revere, Massachusetts. Yes, I was. Of the American Legion. Yes. Tell us about that one. I was elected to the office in May, while I was still the state commander of the American Legion, but I got out in June, so I actually took over right after I got out of the state position, and I'm working with the officers, the newly elected officers, to try and revise the post. Post has been kind of dormant for the past 3 or 4 years. We do our veterans meetings, we do the Memorial Day services and stuff like that, but other than that, we weren't getting involved in the community at all. The Legion is a community-based operation, and each post within the communities have their own responsibilities. So I am trying to bring the attention of the Legion back to the community, and also the attention of the community back to the Legion, so they know who we are, what we are, and why we exist. We're a group of wartime and military veterans interested in a strong national security, the welfare of our veterans, the education of our youth, and the care of our disabled veterans. Right, and we also have the Women's Auxiliary as part of the veterans. Yes, we have an auxiliary unit in the post. Has been very inactive for the past 4 or 5 years. To be a member of the auxiliary, you have to be the wife, daughter, granddaughter of a veteran? Of a veteran who is eligible to be in the American Legion. Right, but you yourself do not have to have been in the service. No, you yourself do not have to have been in service, but your father, your
To
husband.
be a member, right.
Yeah,
So the male people of the American Legion have to
Right.
be former service people.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So that's another one. We also have the Sons of the American Legion, which we have a charter for, but we haven't used in 20 years. I'm revitalizing that. I have currently 4 members who I transferred from another post to into the Revere post. We're looking forward to, right after our first meeting, putting out an effort to get more members and more recruited.
Not only that, but the American Legion, people don't know that there's a lot more besides veterans. I mean, you help the baseball youth of the city of Revere?
Yes, we do. We do a lot of, as I said, part of our thing is taking care of the youth of America.
The scholarships,
Scholarships.
for the ROTC?
Right. We do ROTC scholarships. We do Legion baseball. We haven't had a team for a few years, but one of the biggest programs in the Legion is American Legion baseball. In fact, last night was the World Series finals, and it was broadcast on ESPN.
Right, and I think there was a woman pitcher, I shouldn't say a woman, a little girl pitcher that pitched.
That was a Little League.
That
This
was
is- yeah,
yeah,
this-
who's on Sports Illustrated.
Yeah,
But,
this is the American Legion, which is back in 1985, 86, 75% of all Major League Baseball players had played American Legion baseball.
right, and also the American Legion that you and I discussed before we went on the air. You know, Revere had a tornado on September the 28th. I happened to be at the Revere Senior Center, and we do have a lot of good veterans there. I wish all the veterans who are seniors over 60 would come to our Revere Senior Center.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to let people know that the American Legion National Emergency Fund is available for any veteran who was dislocated, any Legion member who was dislocated from his home during the tornado. You can get up to a $1,500 grant to help pay for expenses for a hotel if you had to stay in it, food while you were away from your home, clothing if you had to buy something. And the program is available, and I have information on it, and information can be got by calling me at the post, 781-284-9511.
I'd like to ask you a question about that,
Yes.
Bill, if I may. If a veteran, let's say, is evicted, let's say a veteran gets laid off from his job, and he's evicted because of non-payment of rent, can he still use that fund to help him get back on his feet, or is that only for tornado victims?
It's only for national disasters.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be a national or a declared disaster, so that.
But if a person is evicted and needs help, he can still go to the Veteran Administration for it.
He can go to the VA. He should actually go to Nick Bower.
Well, right.
Nick Bower was the
Is it
guy here in Revere who was the veterans agent. And
Right, and he is the commissioner of the Revere
Right.
Veterans.
Yeah. And
Okay, that's good. You also do a thing that's called, I believe, Read Across America.
yeah, we're involved with Reach Across America, and that's a program that started with a group manufacturer of Christmas trees in Maine. And his goal was to originally just to put a wreath on every grave in Arlington National Cemetery. That's about 58,000 graves, I believe, at this present time.
That would be Born 58. 'cause
Bourne is 58, right.
Wellington is over 400,000.
That's right. Bourne is 58,000. Arlington is over 400,000. But the goal was to put
Right.
a wreath on every veteran's grave. And it's become, it started out as a small project and it's become a national organization. And
It's still operating?
it's still operating. They have a website, Reach Across America. They have a newsletter they send out. I've been involved with it for 4 or 5 years, going down and you can buy a wreath or 2 wreaths or whatever you want to do, and then they take them and place them at different cemeteries and so forth. So, and then I go down to the cemetery in Bourne every year for the ceremony that they have.
I go down too. And by the way, I would like to mention one thing. There's a gentleman here by the name of Paul Bonfiglio and his assistant Rebecca. They collect money for the flags, which I will be presenting to you. But they put a flag on every single grave down there. And the one who's in charge down there is Mr. Paul Monti, whose son Jared was a recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but he got killed in action in Afghanistan. And I salute you, Mr. Monti, and I salute your son too.
Well, I know Paul.
You know Paul?
Yeah.
Couldn't find a
in
better
fact-
gentleman.
Right. In fact, the Veterans Post in Raynham
That's where he comes from.
has a monument to Jared on its front lawn, and I was down there as part of the dedication. And I talked with
Fantastic.
Paul.
That's
Yeah.
good.
He was a good man, and he's done quite a bit. And that getting that flag on every grave down there, it almost took an act of Congress to get
Right.
that done.
Since you're the commander of Post 61, I want you to do yours truly a favor, since I also happen to be a member of Post 61. Make sure you tell all those veterans that if they would like to go down to Bourne in November sometime, like Veterans Day, to notify Paul Bonfiglio, because he rented a bus that was donated, but he was the one that got the bus donated, and we all went down. So if any people would like to go down and help us put the flags on the graves, which would be a good idea,
Sure.
to contact either you at the Legion, and you could put them on to Paul, or to contact Paul Bonfiglio.
Yes, no problem. I will do that. I will talk to them about it at our meeting.
Right.
We
And
have
if-
our first meeting on September 18th, and I will speak to them about that.
Right, which is only 2 months away from Veterans Day.
Yep.
So if people want to contact you, let them know how to get a hold of you.
They can contact me through the post at 781-284-9511 or through the email at americanleg_61@yahoo.net.
That's
our
good.
email.
Now, by the way, we started with the show talking about your tornadoes and everything else, but I want to talk about yourself as a child growing up and what schools you went to. Give us a little history about yourself, because everyone is different, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, actually, I'm an import. I was not born here. I was born and raised in Dorchester. I went to Dorchester schools. I went to Don Bosco High School in downtown Boston. Graduated in 1963. God, that was a long time ago. And
From Don Bosco?
Yes.
1963?
Yep.
51 and 70. You must be about 67, 68 then.
I'm 69.
Well, I was getting up.
We're getting there. Yeah. So I met my wife at work and my late wife at work, and we got married, and she loved East Boston, so I moved to East Boston. And after she passed away, I moved to Revere I stayed here for about 5 years. And my son bought a house back in East Boston, so I moved back to East Boston. So
you live in East Boston?
I live in East Boston now, yeah. I've been there for about 8, 9 years. And I live in my son's house. I have a son and a daughter. My daughter lives in Plymouth. I have 2 grandchildren. So my son's Michael and my daughter's Carrie Ann.
What do they do, if I may ask?
My daughter is our stay-at-home mom. Well, she works part-time at Stop and Shop. My son works for a nonprofit in the West End. He's a director of training, and I forget what his exact title is, but he works for a nonprofit in the North End that works with
You have any
health
grandchildren
people.
too, buddy?
I have 2 grandchildren, Timothy, who is 8, and Cassandra, who is 5.
And they live in East Boston?
No, they live in Plymouth. They're my daughter's children.
Oh.
They live in Plymouth.
That's very, very good.
Yeah, they're a handful, as all grandkids are.
Now, about a couple of weeks ago, if I'm correct, I went down to Salem Willows, and that's where I met you.
Yes.
I didn't know you were there, but you were there.
Yeah.
How did you get that? I mean, what were you involved in down there? Because I got to tell you, you know Buddy Mangini.
Yes, Buddy and I go back a long way. Buddy, the reason you were at Salem Willows is because we, the Kiwanis Club of East Boston, which I am the treasurer, we have a senior outing every year.
And I was invited.
And you were invited.
Right.
And we take the seniors to Salem Willows. We have 2 buses every year. We take them to Salem Willows. We have coffee and donuts for them when they arrive. They have a couple of hours to walk around, do what they want to do. Then we have lunch. We give them a box lunch. After the box lunch, we take them out on a boat ride around the harbor. So it's an all-day situation. They leave at about 8:30 in the morning, and they get back around 5:30 at night. So it's a nice day for the seniors to get out from.
And don't forget one thing that you give that everybody loved: ice cream.
Oh yes, we give them ice cream after the boat ride. We give them all ice cream. Yeah. So and Buddy's been involved in that for many years, and also I'm involved with Buddy in the Columbus Day Parade.
That's right, which is coming on this October the 12th.
October the 12th.
On a Sunday,
yeah.
yep.
We'll be having our parade in East Boston. We run it every other year.
And that starts right here from Suffolk Downs?
Starts from Suffolk Downs and goes back to Central Square. It's a big effort.
Oh, Central Square.
Yeah.
That's where the shopping malls are?
Yeah,
and that?
So it goes. It's about a mile and 3/4, I guess, the parade.
Yep, you know, I got to tell you, Bill, I caught TB at Salem Willows. I did. Because, you know, the food was so good that when I caught TB, but the TB stands for two bellies.
Yeah, we had a good time. It was a good day.
I mean, it was a fantastic
Yeah,
day
it was a
out
good
there.
day. So, you know, I'm kind of involved with the community in East Boston quite a bit. So it keeps me busy. And, of course, now here at the Legion in Revere, I'm getting more involved with things that are going on in Revere. I'm looking forward to having a great year at the Legion. I'm hoping that...
I'm sure you're going to be a very good commander, if not one of the best ones we've had.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to bringing back the auxiliary and bringing back the Sons of the American Legion and making them a viable part of the organization. You know, it's a family affair. We call ourselves the Legion family, and we have 4 branches. We have the American Legion, the Ladies Auxiliary, the Sons of the American Legion, and our latest adventure is the American Legion Riders, which is the motorcycle group.
Oh, that's right.
And that's our fastest growing membership.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot, because I love to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, I want to salute you again for serving your country in Vietnam, because, you know, when you people came back, you didn't get the best of credit that was due to you. Let's call it the way it was.
Okay.
They
yep.
called you the criminals and them the victims, but
Yeah.
it was really the other way around, which I thought was wrong, because I'm a World War II veteran. They say we are the greatest generation. I don't agree with them. You are part of the greatest generation. Everyone that serves in the armed forces is part of the greatest generation.
Well,
because if it wasn't for people like you, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. And because of that, I would like to present you. This is a flag that we give to every special veteran. I say special, and you are special. So we want to give you this from the City of Revere, the Revere Veterans Service, the Revere Allied Veterans Council, Police and Fire Department. And again, I salute you for your service, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Morris.
Right. Just don't hit me with that.
No,
Okay.
keep you in line.
That you should do. Tell us about your Vietnam service. Just about where you were.
Well, I didn't get overseas.
Does it make a bit of
no,
difference?
I was actually, they told me where to go, and that's where I went. I actually had great service. I worked.
By the way, they told me where to go too, but I'm not going there.
Yeah. You've been there before. So I went to. I was assigned to a Destroyer Development Group 2. I was assigned to an experimental destroyer out of Newport, Rhode Island. How close to home could I get? And it was we were working with experimental sonar and radar gear, and we'd go out with the experimental sonar. We'd be out for 4, 5, 6 weeks running tests with a submarine and planes and that type of stuff, and we'd come back into Rhode Island, and they'd take the data that they had and evaluate it, and spend 2 or 3 weeks evaluating the data, come back in, tweak up the equipment again, and we'd go back out again. So I spent most of my time back and forth between Newport and we actually operated 500 miles off of Nassau. Great duty. It was
So
great
how'd you
duty.
like it?
I loved it. You know, I would have stayed in. I did my time, but I would have stayed in, except for the fact that I was getting married, and my wife Sandra, couldn't deal with the lifestyle.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a homebody, you know.
Here's the one I'd like to ask you. I don't know how you ever got involved in this one, but you were past commander of the Italian War Veterans of the United States?
Yes. Yeah, I was past national commander.
Past national, excuse me.
Yes.
Go ahead. Tell us
Yeah.
how you ever got involved with that.
Well, I started out with I got into the East Boston Post 6 in East Boston. I became the commander over there. I worked my way up through the commander, through the district, through the state, and became commander of the state. So I did the state duties, and then 2 years after I was commander, I did commander for 2 years at the state. And 2 years after that, I became the national commander. I was elected national commander. A small group, but a viable group.
You're retired now, right?
Yes.
What did you do before you retired, Bill?
I worked at Wonderland Greyhound Park, right here in Revere, till the day they closed.
I wonder why, yeah. I don't understand why they did close the park there.
Yeah,
Could
yeah.
you tell us a little about
Well,
that?
that was because they took the vote that outlawed, that made Greyhound racing
Illegal?
illegal. so they closed it down. But it was funny. We knew that the end was coming. We just didn't know when. I was packing my bags to go to the National Convention for the American Legion. Where was I going? Salt Lake City.
Utah, yep.
And I'm packing my bags, and my boss called me. He says, "Don't come back. We're closed."
That was it?
That was it. Haven't been back since.
And what happened to all the dogs that were there, if you have any idea?
Well, some of them went to Florida because they were kennels that had.
Did any of them get adopted by people?
Yes, there was a great amount of them were adopted by.
They were?
They're beautiful animals. They really are.
Are they friendly? Because I love dogs. I love
Yeah.
animals, period. But I don't know too much about greyhound.
Greyhounds are very friendly, very placid.
Yep.
Yeah, they're very nice. They're short-haired. They're very well taken care of. You know, they like to run though.
That I know, because I got to tell you, I went to there one night. They up in New Hampshire, excuse me.
Yeah.
They have a rabbit or a fake rabbit along the rails.
Yeah.
That rabbit takes off, and boy, do they go after that.
Yeah, they're bred to run. That's what they do. You know, and people say, well, people who made us close down said we were abusing the animals.
Right,
you know,
I heard that,
and,
but I don't
you know,
believe that.
It's like someone who's got a racing car.
A racing horse.
Or a
Horses
racing
are-
horse.
Right.
But I use a racing car who decides he's going to run the racing car and not put any oil in it. You know, you don't abuse the thing that's making you money, and you certainly don't abuse the dog that's making your living for you. You know, and it was sad. It was a big propaganda, and unfortunately, I ended up retired as a result of it. So.
Bill, you know, we're trying to get a casino in here to keep not only the casino to bring business in, but to keep the 800 plus jobs that we have in Suffolk.
Yes.
I am strictly for the casino. I make no bones about that.
Yeah.
I assume you are also.
I am also. I have been since day
Right.
one.
Right, which I think is fantastic. And since this goes out on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, etc., and if the Gaming Commission happens to hear about this, I hope they do the right decision, because remember, we're starting off not with an even base, with a plus base. We already got 800 and plus jobs.
Yeah.
We already got the people of Revere that voted twice.
Yeah.
And I know you come from East Boston, but I mean, you know, when I speak to
I
the
know.
people now, I got to tell you, I spoke to people from East Boston when I went with you on that Salem Willows. Some of them wish that they had gotten the casino because they would have liked to have been part of us.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that they voted it down, but since they did, I'm hoping that the Gaming
Commission will make the right decision.
Yeah.
And you know, the the thing coming on the ballot, I don't think it's correct to put just gambling for the casino on the ballot. If you want to abolish gambling, get rid of the lottery, get rid of bingo, get rid of the casino. Make it a level playing field. But to pick on one, I think that's discrimination, personally.
Yeah, I have my own opinions about the lottery, so I don't want to go into those at the moment.
Okay. No.
But I think that the people who are anti-casino,
they have a right to be.
they
Because
have a certain right to be. Yeah.
let me tell you, we learn more from our negative things than we do from the positives. You know, people that are against us tell us why they're against us, and sometimes it helps us.
Yeah, it helps us to
make it right.
to make adjustments.
Exactly.
And I think that the program that Mohegan Sun has put together is fantastic.
It is.
And
I think it's
it'll be great.
unbeatable.
Yeah, and I just
You know,
but you never know.
right, and I have to say this again. Casinos, like Mohegan Sun, does not give us lip service. They give us real community service. But more important than that, when I went to the last meeting and they were showing pictures about, a gentleman came up and talked about the casino having a 3-star hotel, Mohegan Sun, and Everett having a 5-star. If they looked at that pamphlet, it's not a 3-star hotel. It's certainly not a 5-star hotel. It's a 10-star hotel. But I think even now I would put it up on a 15-star hotel. I might have made a mistake when I said 10.
Yeah, I think it would be good for the city.
It's good for
It'd be
everybody.
good for the state.
Right.
And I wish to just get it done and get it over with.
Right. They say they might vote by September the 12th, which would be good. Bill, we have about 3 minutes left.
Okay.
I'll keep my mouth shut. Take the 2 minutes you want and say whatever you like.
Oh, put me on the spot here.
Okay, whatever you want.
No, I want the people in Revere to know that the American Legion is alive and well, and you know, as a result of the hurricane, of the tornado, we lost our 2-century trees that were on our doorstep.
Yep.
But now you can see the building. People know we're there. So there's good and bad and everything. And I think that a lot of the members, we're going to be getting back into the community. We're going to be doing more within the community. We're going to be trying to show up at whatever has to be done. We need to spend our time out with the community people, letting them know who we are and what we do, making contributions when we can.
One more time, tell them how to get a hold of you. Both email it and
okay.
phone.
The telephone number at the post is 781-284-9511. And the email address is AmericanLEG_61@yahoo.com.
Bill, I want to say thank you for coming on to Revere TV and our community show. I want to salute you again for your service. God bless you. Thank you for coming on. God bless our troops, people of Revere, all our service people, and God bless the great country, the United States of America. And if you have a good idea to put on the show or a good person you would like to see on the show, email us at reveretv.org, and we'd love to have them on. To the people of Revere, to the next time, thank you for listening. Until we meet again, adios.
Yeah.